if our insurance denied Exondys completely because we're using a patient program for it, will they approve a port when they didn't approve the treatment in the first place? We got it in finally, boo. Don't pull in it.
You ready, bud?
Are you ready?
No poke.
No owies.
No poke's done. Oh, hold on, bud.
No owies. It's okay. All right, so this is a new week for us after a very, 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 very busy end of June and July. So it's bittersweet to start a new week. I'm excited to get back to our routine. So now we're kind of back into our normal groove, normal appointments, normal time frame, stuff like that. So this week it's all about weekend dosing. Brian and I wanted to give Mason about 6 months post Elevidys to look into weekend dosing. And last week we did have a Zoom meeting with our neurologist about what to expect, weekend dosing. She wanted to give me kind of a breakdown on how to transition into weekend dosing. And weekend dosing is pretty much doing most of your weekly prednisone dosage on just Saturday and Sunday. And then you take 5 days off, Saturday and Sunday, 5 days off, and so on and so forth. So what we learned at the conference and just previous research is, in talking to medical professionals, is pretty much that can possibly eliminate the negative side effects, not eliminate, but decrease the negative side effects, as in behavior, weight gain, moon face, all that stuff. So we're still in the deciding stage. So the other thing on my mind this week is about Jack and his exon skipping Exondys. The weekly IV has just become kind of a struggle. He's experiencing what we think is definitely medical trauma, which we really want to avoid that for their futures. They're just not getting the IV in the first time, so he's getting poked 3-4 times a session, and a couple times she just had to leave and he didn't get his treatment, so he had several weeks of missing it, and he's just struggling with the initial poke. Once we let him go, he's perfectly fine, but it's creating, from my perspective, a panic attack with Jack, and he's only 2 years old. Every time he feels me holding him down or feels the little band in his arm, he's starting to realize what's happening. And so it's like I'm squeezing him, Brian's holding his arm out so she can get it in, and it's just, we can't just foresee doing that once a week for 2 years. She did submit a referral to get a port done here locally at our children's hospital. I think that's going to take some processing time. I've got in contact with a Sarepta representative who, they also have a medical team that offers kind of trainings for the local nurses regarding Exondys, exon skipping procedures specifically. So I think that would be really helpful. I don't think it's all on the nurse. I think it's a combination of his panic, she's having a hard time getting it in, and just the trauma that we're seeing him endure isn't the best scenario for us. We talked to several nurses, several medical professionals that we actually really trust, and every single one of them has pretty much said, you know, they've seen minimal infections, minimal revisions, and hasn't had a lot of negative experiences with pediatric ports. So yeah. Dad's famous smoked ribs.
Yeah. Oh, eat that and then show. Mom.
What's your rating? 1 to 10? 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yummy, tummy. It's my stomach.
Nice, good, hearty meal for Jack after his infusion today, huh?
Yummy, it's my stomach.
All right, so I did a little screen recording of the chart that the neurologist sent us for transitioning into weekend dosing. So as you see here, she said, I sent a prescription for 20 milligram tablets. Target dose is for 100 milligrams Saturday and 100 milligrams Sunday. And here is a little chart sheet printed out for us to show how to transition into that final weekend dose. So it looks like each week will decrease the daily dose and then give them the majority dose on the Saturday, Sunday. So she gave us a little chart to go off of here. One thing I wanted to point out that they suggested to look out for, which I think is very important for anyone that doesn't know out there or hasn't experienced this yet, but it is very important that whenever you mess with your steroid prescription or transition into a different regimen or different days, she said even though we're slowly switching over to weekend dose, it's still possible to experience an adrenal crisis. Even when weaning off slowly off steroids, adrenal crisis happens when the body is unable to produce enough cortisol for when the body is put under stress, such as a change in steroid dose. That's just really important to know the symptoms if you need to take them to the ER for any indication of an adrenal crisis when transitioning into a new dosage or changing the days and whatnot. So definitely a factor in our decision. We don't want to put him in any stress, but if that does happen, an adrenal crisis, you just go to the ER and they would give him like a stress dose of prednisone to help the shock of the body. But the only hesitation we have right now, we were not expecting that he would be on 100 milligrams Saturday and 100 milligrams on Sunday, so I do have some further questions. We're finally back to our therapies. Yay! Bugs! Yay!
You did it! Good job! Whoa! Wow! So cool! Woohoo! Woohoo!
I'm going to their house. Mason keeps talking about dogs. You want a dog, don't you?
You want a dog?
Yeah. Dad's home. Since we are weaning Mason off on Monday to start weekend dosing with the prednisone, we have a whole new flight of prescriptions to pick up, start this new chart that the neurologist gave us. We're on a double date with Brian's sister and husband, and we're doing a cider date for their birthdays. It's a new place we just tried, and their kids are watching our kids. So our niece and nephew are newly teenagers, so we get to have double dates.
3, 2, 1. Hey, it's my ribs! My famous ribs. We don't know what... Everybody likes this. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure.
Okay, hold on. What were you expecting me to say?
I was expecting to take a picture.
Thought you were wanting me to like sell my ribs.
It shows your skills, I guess. If you can sell a mountain bike, how can you not sell ribs?
Are you hungry? In the need of complete nourishment? Well, here are Brian's ribs. Very much all of the sugar that you need. Okay, we're done. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.